It's day 2. Yes. Okay, guys. I'm obviously in the van. Let's hope this works. I brought my phone holder. Brain's not thinking. And I'm hoping. I'm running errands today, and there's a lot of sitting and waiting in the van. And so I'm like, okay, well, I think we're going to try to attempt to film day 2 in the van. Let's hope this works. So I already, again, saw it, caked it up just so I was ready to knit, because I knew that wasn't going to happen when I was actually out and about. But it's very pretty. It's very exciting. Here's day 2. Oh, is that not just so pretty? And look. Okay. That's just gonna be fun. This is gonna be a really cheerful pair of socks. That's what I have to say. So, new plan. After I thought about it. Oh, and I hope my phone doesn't fall over. If just all of a sudden, it's because this thing is, it's not committing to working well. But yeah, like I said, this. Oh, so new plan. So, after thinking through, I was like, I'll guesstimate for the sock along 5 grams, right? Because it's 5 grams a day knitted, and I was like, surely I'll just be fine. And then I knitted up my cuff, and I was like, if that's 5 grams, that is way thicker than I want each of the colors on my sock. So then I was like, oh, I could split it between both. I don't think that's I still think that in the end, I don't think I'll end up getting all the yarn in one pair of socks, in one pair of socks. So I came up with a plan, and we're knitting 2 pairs of socks, one for me, one for the husband, which is great because he's actually the only person I didn't end up making, the only person I was hoping to make socks for this year for Christmas. I actually didn't ever get to any of his. I started some for him, but then I was like, okay, I think yours are just the ones that's gonna end up waiting. And we talked about, he was obviously very kind and doesn't care, but so in the end, at the end of this, we should have a pair of socks for him and a pair of socks for me. So that's the plan. This is easily 5 grams a yard. I think it's more 8 grams a yarn. And then I'm even using some of this yarn on another project, which eventually I'm sure I'll show you guys. But that's it. Between the other project and these 2 pairs of socks, this is it. I think I have or I know we did because I accidentally casted on too much for this sock. So I, cut the tail. Or I gave my too long of a tail, didn't cast on too much. And so I have a little clipping of that yarn, but that's it. I've used up the entire first day of yarn between these 2 socks and the other projects. So there we go. That's what's going on with the socks. And then I'm using one of Dana Rae Makes patterns. And I don't know if she goes by Dana or Dana Rae. I just know in her name on Instagram is Anne on, is it Raverly? Is it Raverly? I always feel I don't know if you guys do this, where you're in your head it's one way, but then you hear someone else say it and you're like, maybe I have been saying it wrong this whole time. I didn't realize. But Dana Rae Makes, I think she's Dana Rae Makes on both places. I'll do the thing. Let you guys know where to find her, at least on Instagram. Okay, so I'm using her pattern. Oh no, I looked at it right before, and I have to stop this. I'll be back. I'm back. Okay, so it's called Twisty Staircase Socks. So I haven't made this pattern. I bought it a few months ago when she released the pattern, or a couple months ago. Whenever she released it, I bought it. And I've been kind of just I don't know when I'm going to use this, but I'm really excited because it just has fun. She's so good at just putting textures together to just make a really cool looking sock. It's just all her socks, they just have really fun textures. It's what I like about her stuff is, at least so far, the stuff I've used of her patterns is it's mainly a mix of knits and purls and more basic stuff, but she mixes it in a way that you get just the coolest looking pair of socks. And so it's not like you need like a cable needle or like know a ton of like random techniques. Like it's all fairly like just straightforward. And if there is maybe something in there, you can like Google it real fast and like get a quick answer. It's not like you have to be like, oh my gosh, my tension is weird because I don't know if I'm doing the stitch right. So, I mean, it's just like, yeah, love her patterns. Like definitely recommend them. And one of the, let's see, the scattering petals socks. Oh my gosh, that's the other one I've used. I actually don't know on the Twisty Staircase one, but on the scattering petals one, she actually has not only just fingering weight yarn, but like, I think it's DK weight yarn for the other, you know, thicker yarn, and has those details as well. So if you're enjoy mixing up the type of yarns that you use, at least the scattering petal socks has both patterns in the pattern. So both directions, yeah, it would be patterns. So anyway, so yeah, so that's the plan. I'm planning on doing that pattern for both mine and my husband's socks, and yeah, I'm super excited. So let's get knitting. Let's hope the phone stays in place. I'm not sure, close-ups and stuff might be like this versus, because I feel like if I move it, it's just all gonna collapse and give out for the rest of the day. So let's hope day 2 happens. We're set up for it being caked up and stuff. So, all right, let's go knit. Okay, guys, we're having issues. We're having technical issues. Phone holding stand issues. It wants to just fall over. So, okay. Loving how this is turning out. Do you see that beautiful texture? Oh, I love patterns like this. I always find them really interesting because like for the first, you know, maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 6 rows, you're like, I believe this is gonna turn into what it's going to turn into, but it's like you don't see it yet, and then all of a sudden you just get to this point and you're like, oh, I see it. How awesome is that? So super loving this. I had this realization as I was knitting this that I have no way of totally making sure I'm knitting up 5 grams when I'm in the car. So this color might end up being a little bit thicker. On the other days, I might, hopefully I'll be at home, I'll split it. I'll weigh it and split it between mine and Isaac's socks. We'll see. I know I probably don't need to be super like obsessive about it, but my brain gets in that like, ooh, gotta hit that number. But yeah, so this might end up, I might go one more round before I end for this sock and then knit the rest onto the other sock. Yeah, I can't decide. I don't know, because I was telling you guys yesterday, I think it was yesterday. There's too many videos in a row already. We're only in to day 2. I think I want to do 12 colors on each sock, and I think they'll be super fun. So I got to make sure that there's enough, like I need to make sure I can get all 12 colors, you know, like 6, including the heel flap, and then another 6 for the rest of the fun. So I'm a little unsure. I figured I'd go a couple colors in before I'd know, like, okay, I need to do, you know, this many rows before I switch to the next one, to make sure it is the right size. So, or the right size, and that it will fit, or it will get all the colors in. So that's kind of where my brain is on that. I'm loving it. I really, really, really am loving how this is turning out, and it's really pretty, and it's just fun. I think I'm gonna just genuinely be so happy every time I wear this sock. Oh my goodness. It's just gonna be so fun. Okay guys, let's talk Christmas movies. Yesterday we did ornaments, let's do movies. I asked Isaac what his favorite Christmas movies were, and he said Harry Potter, and I was like, I don't think that counts. And I'm all about Harry Potter, so it's not that I'm like not partial. But I'm like, can I really combine two of my favorite things? I don't know. If I'm allowed, I'm gonna say Harry Potter 1 can now go on my list of Christmas movies because I feel like that's the most Christmassy. So Harry Potter 1. Okay, and then I was like, okay, Isaac, you gotta give me like Christmas movie, like maybe Christmas in the title or Christmas-ness, right? So then he said Nightmare Before Christmas. Do we count that as a Christmas movie? I know that's the great debate. I think it is. So we'll add that as a good one. I know not everyone probably likes the movie, but when you do like it, you love it. Apparently my whole family, like kids, me and husband, kids, all love it. So that was his 2 votes. And then he didn't seem to have an opinion about that. Apparently he doesn't take his Christmas movies as seriously as I do. So I will add to that list is A White Christmas with Bing Crosby and huge cast. I'm trying to remember. I keep wanting to say Danny Kaye is the other actor, but I'm like, I don't know if it is Danny Kaye. You guys probably are all like screaming at me which guy it is. And there's like Danny Kaye and the other actor. I always watched old movies when I was growing up. But for some reason, those are the 2 that I like reverse who's who. Like if you put them next to each other, I'd be like, oh yeah, that one's, and partly because I think I always forget the other guy's name. So I always just want to call him Danny Kaye. And it might be Danny Kaye. We know it's Bing Crosby. We got him down. Well, White Christmas, I loved that movie. The beautiful dresses, the music, the dancing. I've always, as a little kid, that was just, amazing. Okay. And of course, Christmas, Snoopy is an absolute must, 100% must. And I love Elf. I don't know if everyone loves Elf, but it gives me a good giggle. So I actually would add that to some of my classic favorites of Christmas movies. And The Santa Claus, #1 with Tim Allen, I also have always liked. I don't know if everyone likes those ones as well, but I think that one came out maybe when I was a teenager, maybe even a little bit. I don't know. I just love it. It reminds me of my childhood, and it's a good one. And I have a feeling when it comes to Christmas movies, that's probably where a lot of our opinions come, is like, well, this is like our tradition. Like we have to like it, or we do like it because it so reminds us. It's the core of like growing up with our Christmas movies. So anyway, you guys are gonna have to tell me what is a favorite Christmas movie, and then I'm assuming there are different classic movies in different countries. Like every country probably has their classic Christmas. Like I would assume like A White Christmas is probably very classic to the USA. Maybe I'm wrong though. I've actually always wondered that, because I'll notice like other Christmas movies, you know, maybe from like England and stuff, and they'll be playing like Bing Crosby in the background, and it always gets me like curious. I'm assuming there's different classic Christmas songs in other countries and classic Christmas movies, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe those are very American? I don't know. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know. Yeah, and okay, so here's the other question. What's a favorite, and do you watch a Christmas movie every single night? You know, like, it's Hallmark, right? That does like the 25 days of Christmas movies. I think it's Hallmark. If I wasn't filming myself, I'd probably be like, of course it's Hallmark, but I'm like, I'm filming myself. Oh my gosh, the lighting is so weird. Do you see this? It's like shifting as we're filming. Is it the mirror? I wonder if I could just keep my hand here. There we go. It's not quite so weird. Anyway, so yes, are you a diehard let's watch a Christmas movie every day in the season? I'm leaning towards, I know we're not gonna end up watching a Christmas movie every single day this year. I think some years I try a little bit more, but I'm not a diehard on that one. That's not a tradition that I've like always kept up with, or even like, I don't even know if I fully even think about it, other than like, I want to watch some Christmas movies this year. You know, like that type of simple stuff. So anyway, you guys are going to have to tell me what you enjoy doing for your Christmas movies. And are there different Christmas movies that are like in your country, like, is it different than here? Is that, I'm assuming, I would just assume that there is. I don't know why yeah. So yeah, tell me one of those. Brain just totally froze. Tell me what a favorite Christmas movie, or maybe your favorite 5, or maybe if you have 25 and you feel like typing it out, you can do that too. But maybe top 5 or favorite, I don't know. And if you're in a different country from here, do you guys have different classics than here? Because other classics would be like Frosty the Snow, like these are cartoons, but they're still movies. Frosty the Snowman. And when I was really little, I don't even know, because my kids don't even watch them, but I know I can find them. The like classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that was, I think it was claymation. That was another classic like that. Snoopy and Frosty Snowman, like as a kid. Oh, and then Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol was another one that my brother and I watched a ton. See, as I sit here and talk to you guys, I'm just gonna be like, oh, and here's another 100 movies. So tell me, you guys have to tell me what your favorites are, and yeah, if there's a different classic movie in your country, tell me. All right, I better keep knitting. This is taking forever, the waiting in the van. But it's okay, because I'm getting a lot of knitting done. Okay guys, I'm gonna end today's vlog. We've got one sock done, and then we've got this one started. I'm loving this color combo. I'm super excited to see what other colors are coming this month, and I think they're gonna make these socks so much fun. Okay, so remember, I want to know your favorite Christmas movies. I hope you guys are having an awesome Christmas season, and I really hope to see you tomorrow. Bye!